All signs point to this. We get into the Ducks' projected lineups on a day-to-day basis in the upcoming season in this edition of Ducks Digest. Hey, it's Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the 9% of you, the ones who are watching these videos, who have already hit the sub button, but 91% of you have not subscribed yet. I'm not sure why. We're the newest Anaheim Ducks YouTube channel, bring you everyday Ducks content. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and help out a fellow Anaheim Ducks fan. But the Hockey News published an interesting article talking about the Ducks and next season. Ducks projected lineups for the upcoming season. As we know, they're doing a bunch of fantasy hockey previews for all 32 NHL teams, kind of helping out those fantasy hockey fans as they get ready to do those fantasy hockey drafts that are going to be happening very soon for a lot of those people that play fantasy hockey, with the NHL season kicking off in basically a little over a month, right? In a little over a month, we're going to be watching regular season NHL hockey, right? Tuesday, October 7th is when the NHL regular season kicks off. It's Thursday, October 9th for the Ducks, so a little bit, you got to wait about 48 hours after the, little over 48 hours after the NHL season kicks off before we see our Ducks play some meaningful hockey. But this month, it's already about the preseason, right? Ducks and Kings kick off the preseason Sunday, the 21st. So yeah, already this season, we're going to be, this month, I should say, we're going to be seeing some hockey. But let's talk a little bit about what this article kind of, breaks down here. As we know, the Ducks made some pretty impressive moves this offseason, right? I mean, it has been a busy offseason, to say the least, when it comes to the Anaheim Ducks, losing, of course, Trevor Zegras, John Gibson, trading both of those guys. And they end up getting, Kreider and Mikael Granlund and Peter Mrazek. Those are the three real big pickups. Let's not forget Ryan Poehling as well, who also was one of the additions, came with the Trevor Zegras trade. But looking at these lineups, these are the projected lineups. Top lineup, you got Kreider, first year as a Duck. Mason McTavish, we still don't have much information on that, but they're projecting that McTavish, of course, will be in the first lineup. Players still without a contract, unfortunately, for the Ducks. And basically, I mean, this is more than... the whole Ducks offseason is going to come down to this, right? I really think the Ducks offseason really is going to hinge on, this move here. The Mason McTavish, obviously, like I said, it's unlikely that Mason McTavish will get traded. There's still a lot of rumors that McTavish can get traded. It's still kind of out there, but sources think the Ducks are going to keep McTavish, that eventually there will be an agreement. But, God, I think the longer this goes on, I think it just doesn't help, either party. It doesn't help McTavish as a player, and it doesn't help the Ducks either. If this stretches out into training camp and you see McTavish, potentially missing preseason games, of course, it's not like McTavish was going to play a lot in the preseason anyway, but, you would expect him to get some reps, right, in the preseason. And, just being away from the team, that's what's going to start happening, right? I mean, the Ducks are going to start that training camp, and it looks like McTavish won't be there unless there's some sort of agreement soon. And that, of course, that's very concerning for the Ducks. It's very concerning. Well, at least it's concerning for us as Ducks fans, right? I don't know what the organization really feels about this whole situation, right? I mean, it's kind of unclear. What do they have complete disregard for McTavish at this point? They don't even care. So, yeah. But this projected line has them in the top line. And you have Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlson, Alex Killorn in the second line. Kind of no surprise there. Frank Vatrano, Ryan Strome, Troy Terry in the third line. I mean, you could, potentially have, Terry or Killorn kind of switch off there, depending on how the season goes for these guys. But I kind of agree with this, lineup so far. And then the fourth line, Jansen Harkins, projected here by then to make the team and be on the fourth line. Ryan Poehling, yes, expect him to be on the fourth line, and Sam Colangelo as well. I think those two guys are locks on the fourth line. And Also don't forget about Beckett Seneca, right? Beckett Seneca is another guy that, outside looking in to make this team. Seneca going to be playing the rookie face-off next week, and he's going to get a lot of minutes, I assume, in the preseason. So, going to have to watch closely for Seneca if this guy is ready for the NHL or not. But that's another interesting story. Now, when it comes to the defense, you got Lacombe, you got Gudis, Zellweger, Trouba, Mityakov, Hellison. So, pretty solid, a mix of, a couple, veterans and Gudis and Trouba playing alongside a lot of young, inexperienced guys. But Jackson Lacombe is a future NHL All-Star, right? I think it's getting to that point where we have to kind of agree that Jackson Lacombe eventually will be an All-Star in the NHL. Maybe not this season, but this guy's getting called up for potentially be on the U.S. Olympic team, right? So this guy has already opened the eyes of people around hockey. So the Ducks are very lucky to have Lacombe. I think he's a great player, and he's going to eventually be the quarterback of that defense, right? There's no doubt about that. Talking about the power play, Lacombe's got to be on that top power play unit, right? You got McTavish and Terry and Carlson, Vatrano. You would think with these names the Ducks would have a stronger power play, but I guess it just hasn't worked so far, right? The Ducks' power play has been bad. The special teams in general has been poor recently with these guys, Kreider, Strome, Gauthier, Granlund, Zellweger on the second unit. But like I said, the power play has been poor when it comes to the Ducks. In the last few seasons, it hasn't been good enough, and that has to get better, right? I think that's a talking point for next season. It has to be a talking point. The Ducks special teams has to be better if they want to have a chance of making the playoffs, right? The penalty kill wasn't even that good either, which I'm not too surprised with that because the Ducks, I should say, are such a young team, right? The Ducks are a young team when it comes to killing off penalties. That you don't expect the Ducks to really be. It takes time, right? I think the Ducks, when it comes to the penalty kill, it's going to take time. But the power play should be better, right? I think the power play has to be better now. And now with the brand new coaching staff, with these young guys, I think it's going to be better. I hope it's better. Right? I think if it's not better, the Ducks don't make the playoffs again. They'll just once again fade into obscurity before the holidays happen. If the power play is not clicking in the first month or so of the season, let's be honest with that. If the first 8 weeks go by and the Ducks are still bottom 5 in the power play, they're not making the playoffs. There's no way. They have to be better than that. They will not make the playoffs if that is still the case in the first few weeks of the season. As always, make sure to subscribe, and let's go Ducks. Woo!